been out at work all day teaching, and I was challenged today by a friend that thought that my story as a combination tour player and instructor would be inspiring and also educational for you. So in 30 days from now, I will have completed preparation, traveled to Australia, competed in 3 Pro-Ams on their Ladbroke series that they have down there, and also competed in the final stage of Q School in Australia, which I've never done before. Based on my play at the PGA Championship this year and my continued good play over the last few years, the PGA of Australia was kind enough to offer me an exemption as a PGA professional of Australia to go play in the final stage of Q School. So I'm extremely excited about that. I've got the TV set up because right now we have the Australian Open being played in Sydney. And as part of my research in preparation for going to Australia, I always like to stay in tune with what's going on. So that includes what's happening on TV, that includes what's happening in the weather, that includes any piece of research information that I can gather that will really help me play my best golf. So what this first video is going to be on is really just a slight little bit on preparation. I'm just going to do a loosening up exercise with my saber. But there's so many different things that you really want to prepare you really have to do to prepare for your best for a tournament. And a lot of my videos have been on, how to chip, how to use the saber, how to develop strength and speed with the saber, how to hit long bunker shots, etc. And as a combination tour player and as a coach, I really think that this is my wheelhouse. The ability that I have to communicate preparation techniques, a lot of mental game focus and concentration to you, the viewer, to help you understand exactly what you need to do to prepare. So one of the reasons why I even set up a golf room at my house was because I'm a father of 3 boys. I'm 43 years old. I have a teaching business, a training aid business, and we're going to be releasing putters here very, very soon. And I'm very, very busy, but I like to compete. And the cool thing about golf is that you get to compete at every level that you succeed at. So if you succeed at one level, you get opportunities to compete at higher levels. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through my normal stretching routine, just kind of show you a little bit about what I do. So like I said, body's going to be a little bit tight at 43. So this is what I call, excuse me, what I call my spin. And as I begin to spin, what's happening is I can feel a little bit of tightness in my lower back. I can feel it in my upper back. I feel a little bit in my left knee. And as I continue to do these rotations, I feel a little bit in my back of my right shoulder, probably because I've been working on the computer. Tendons and forearm muscles are really tight when you're working on the computer. So what's important is to create a continuous movement. It's called a dynamic stretch, something that will allow you to continue to stretch out. And it's more fun than any kind of a static stretch. But if you were about to go to the driving range and hit balls, you want to do this. And the reason is if you just step up and hit balls while your muscles are tight, you're probably going to injure yourself, and then you're probably going to hit really bad shots, which is only going to injure your ego. And we don't want any injuries at all. So this is my spin. As I do this, what you're going to notice, I keep my head still, keep my feet still, and I rotate. What I'm trying to do is stretch everything out. Just continue to stretch it out as far as I can. Now I'm not feeling as tight. All those parts that were, I guess, just a little bit achy, not really sore. Fortunately, don't have any injuries right now, so I'm just kind of staying in not, by no means, look at me, I'm not a physical specimen, but in order to compete with longevity, you don't want injuries. And you want to do things efficiently, especially with your time. I know you're busy, I'm busy, everybody's busy. You're taking a few minutes out of your time to watch this video. because I think it's going to help you. And if I can share some of my secrets on what I do to compete at a high level and do it efficiently, then that would be great for you to understand. Maybe apply some of these things that will help you. So next thing I do is go to the heavy end of the saber and just kind of swing it back and forth. On the saber it says heavy swish. And the reason for that, you might be able to hear it. There's the swish. I want to swish both ways. Okay, so feeling a little bit looser. Anytime you grab, anytime you grab that heavy end and you start swinging back and forth, what's going to happen is you're going to start stretching other parts, right? So when it's in this position, I was stretching one set of muscles. Then I went to the heavy end. I'm starting to feel like a little bit more of a stretch in my wrists and forearms here. So I'm also going to do a little bit of stretching like that as well. You can hold it for longer. 10 seconds is advisable. I personally like to do shorter stretches where I allow the muscle to just kind of relax in between stretches. I know when you stretch for longer than 10 or 20 seconds, your muscles actually start to contract against you and start to pull, and that's actually not healthy for your muscles. So, all right, so that was heavy end. Now I'm going to light end as I watch the Australian Open in Sydney. Matt Kuchar's in the lead, 7 under, looking good. All right, so now I'm swishing the light end, which is faster. And one thing that they mentioned is that it's been a little abnormally cold. I wouldn't say abnormal, but a little chilly as we move into the Australian summer. One thing that's similar about where I live in Arizona here and also in Sydney down to Melbourne is the temperature, as I look at, is actually very similar. So early mornings here, like last night, I think it was like 48 degrees here in Arizona, which is kind of chilly. So when you get up in the morning and as it works its way all the way up to 72 degrees, there's a little bit of an adjustment period where you're maybe starting out with a warmer set of clothes and then you move your way up into a thicker set. You start peeling off layers as the temperature warms up. So being prepared for that here in Arizona is actually going to help me when I go to Australia as well. So looks like Matt's in long pants and short sleeves right now, so it must be warming up. Although the caddy there is wearing a jacket still, so we'll see. All right, light side swishes. Now, on the light side of the saber, it also said snap. So I'm going to show you the snaps and the benefit of doing that. So what I do is I take my saber, by the way, I use the Saber LD, which is appropriate for tour player, club professional, college golfer, mini tour player. If you're super strong, you might go with the SLD, which is the super long drive. All right, so that's just a little short video that I did for you to really help you kind of get started on this journey with me. In 30 days, I'll be back here in the States, hopefully showing you a full PGA Tour of Australia tour card. I'll still be teaching, I'll still be continuing my Saber programs, but what I'll also be doing is getting an opportunity to play more golf, which is something I love to do. We'll see you in the next video.